This is the Sacred Business Podcast, a show for spiritual women identifying entrepreneurs and leaders. I am Sora Suriano. On this show, you'll meet inspiring guests, get some business tips, experience sacred practices, and listen to my personal lessons as a business owner. As a transformational business coach, powerful medicine woman, inspirational speaker, fire igniter, heart whisperer, and world traveler, I've helped hundreds of women around the world heal their stories and transform their sacred businesses. It's time for us to claim our rightful and equitable place in entrepreneurship through scaling our business efforts. You are worthy, Divine Sister. This is episode 4. So I hope you enjoyed episode 3, where I coached Meg Berryman through an area that she was feeling some discomfort in when it came to her business. And I just wanted to take a moment this episode to really break down how I hold space, because I truly believe that space holding is what creates the magic and the shifts with myself and my clients. And so first and foremost, I believe in the magic of circle. I believe circle creates a safe space for individuals to learn how to be conscious, soulful, intentional human beings. I believe circles give you a place to be heard and witnessed, which in return allows all beings to feel empowered and responsible for themselves and this planet. I believe there is endless power in community that holds intentions for you and creates a space for you to grow into the leader you truly are. I believe a circle takes what seems impossible and shows you an unlimited amount of possibilities. And I believe that circle is a cosmic shape that brings form, the mysteries of the ethereal world into this world. And so let me break down a little bit of what I have come to understand about sacred space and circles. What I really realized is early on when communing with another person that there is actually no one approach. It truly is about being with the person who is in front of you and being present. So there is no one size fits all. I don't believe that one coaching style, for it shifts based on the essence of my soul sister or client. I try to intentionally meet them where they are at. And we do this in a ceremonial way, grounding in together and trusting we are heading in the direction that feels true and good for my client. The one important principle when holding space for my client is to create a container that feels safe, secure, grounded, and held. And so here's a little sneak peek as to how I hold a virtual space with a one-on-one client. And I do this within my mastermind as well. So when there's loving hot seats and there's several people on the call and we're moving through one person at a time, I still create my magical container in this way. So let me share with you a little bit about how I do this and the breakdown. And then you can even go back to listening to episode 3 and see how I actually do this in a live coaching call. So first and foremost, I clear. Before showing up with my client, I take a moment, even if it's only 2 minutes, and I call myself back. I let go of any energies that don't serve me and imagine that I am a clear vessel here to serve my sisters with clarity as a priestess, as a medicine woman, as an alchemical business coach. Then with my client or clients, I ground. I ground either on the phone or if we are in person on retreat or on a Zoom call. I settle in and together I invite her to close her eyes and I lead her through a short meditation that roots her into the present moment, calming her system, bringing her into the magical space where intelligence and intuition meets. I then share a prayer with intention. So before asking her to open her eyes, I set an intention for the coaching call, sharing a short prayer filled with gratitude to help strengthen the container and to release any of my expectations that come from my mind around me, quote, helping her, rather than me being the clear channel and vessel where the help is happening through her and not through me. Then I listen. It is one of my magic powers. I invite my client to share what is happening with her, what is going on in her life, not just in her business, and what is it that she's experienced since the last call that we had together. And I listen, being present with her words, her feelings, her body language, her emotions, and her energy system. I then ask what she desires support with today, and she can say, I don't know. It's a great place to start. Simply getting curious around where she's at, what her emotional, energetic, or places where she desires some strategist support lies is a great place to begin. But there's so much more based on listening to her share that I then weave in. Remembering that as I now lead and hold her by being a support system, I am actually being guided by the goddess and as the priestess that I am, lending my support without a specific outcome that I desire to see. Letting go any of expectation or validation I need about whether or not I'm doing a good job, but rather being present with my client, asking beautiful, intentional questions, providing deep reflections, suggesting strategies or practices, but also inviting her to do the same by providing what she is feeling, what is she moving through, what she may desire to have support with. And then we discern. Together we discern what feels true. I trust my client's intuition, and I simply ebb and flow alongside with her. There are moments where I will step into a place of my sacred warrior and share what feels true, while also softening sometimes and allowing her to simply share where she is at. We are creating a dance together, letting go of what expectations we have placed, but rather being in the unknown together and discerning what feels true for her, knowing that my client is sovereign and therefore so well equipped in understanding responsibly where she is at, remembering that she is a wild and wise woman. Then we review. We reflect over our time together and notice what we have uncovered, reviewing any action steps or next steps that my client desires to take away with her. What is her soul work that she is committed to exploring and doing on her own until the next time that she connects with me? Now, sometimes this will be business strategies and action steps that she can then chunk and then go off and do. And other times it's simply being curious about a question that she is navigating in the unknown, and she will walk with her question. Other times there was a profound, big healing that has happened, and so she will need some time to integrate that into her system. Then we feel. We both notice how we are feeling. Ask your sister to share how she felt prior to the call and where she is now. It doesn't mean that she needs to feel so much better, right? Rather that she feels good, meaning good in her system, awake, fully grounded and present. That she feels what she feels as to be true, and that is the fullest expression of herself at this very moment. And then we close our call with gratitude, ending the session and disconnecting my energy with my client and vice versa so that we can continue on with our day. So, dear one, this is how I hold space with individual clients on group calls, on retreats, and in the Sacred Business Mastermind. How you hold space for your clients is something that I invite you to consider for yourself. In what ways is it different or the same? Is there a practice based on what I've shared that you will take away with you and try this week? Now, the beliefs that I have around the magic of circle, just want to take a moment to dive into where they even started to come from. So I wasn't a woman who sat in circle from a very young age. But what I realized is that I began to understand the power of circle because of where I was in high school. So in high school, I was in a school. I moved and went to a new school in 10th grade. And when I was there was an English teacher of mine who was the director of a school that was within that school. It was called the A School, the alternative school. And she saw something in me and she invited me to apply. And so I sent in my application, I had an interview, and what I realized that was so interesting about the A School was that it wasn't looking to find students that were similar to one another. Rather, they were looking to weave in different types of students into this amazing mosaic that was colorful and deep and sometimes uncomfortable and yet so intriguing. And it created this amazing energy in the group itself. And so the school within the school, there was 11th graders and 12th graders. And I was there for 2 years. And in it, we always sat in circle. We sat on couches, we wrote on walls. Together, we would figure out what classes we wanted to take, and the teachers would then learn themselves the information and then co-teach alongside with us and co-learn alongside with us. We would volunteer once to twice a week. We would go out on excursions every week. We would have a psychologist come in every Thursday. And it was an amazing experience to realize that for me, school didn't have to look like me seated in a table in rows, listening to a teacher, writing notes, and only doing reports or tests. That rather we could sit in circle and converse and stretch and be uncomfortable and navigate what we actually thought and felt by sharing. And so therefore, the only reason I was able to do that and start growing was because the A School felt safe to me, where individuals were acknowledged and the teachers would instill in us that they trusted us and believed in us. And because it was a safe space, I was able to learn how to be more conscious and soulful and intentional as a human being, that I was a human being, that I had value on this planet. After that, the next thing I realized is that I was being heard. I was so soft-spoken. I rarely wanted to speak. I'd get so nervous. But anytime I did speak, my classmates would listen. They would actually listen, and they would provide a space where they respected me. And so therefore, it made me feel empowered and responsible for myself. Also, as a group, we held an intention that we were going to be loving with one another and that we would enjoy our space and that we would always feel welcomed in the actual physical space alongside with the space of us as a class. And that helped me feel like I could trust human beings again. And also when we hold that place of intention, we can begin to step up into our own essence, which ultimately is leadership in our own way. And there was unlimited amount of possibilities. I would always feel as if there was something that I can learn about myself through the eyes and lens of the students that were there and the teachers that were there, because everyone was very vulnerable and authentic and would share real things and real experiences. And so again, all of this showed me later on in life that the mysteries of the cosmic can come forth and really play out in the physical realm when we are together, not because we're all the same, but rather when we bring together different views and experiences, different passions and thoughts, different belief systems, and we can trust that together in a safe space, we can co-create. And so that is why I believe in the magic of circle. And it was through this experience in high school that I saw what space holding looked like and felt like by the teachers who we would call by their first names, who we would understand and learn about their past experiences around everything, because they were just human beings, not people who were better than us. Therefore, there was no secrets. And so through that, as I continued my journey, when I came to a place of starting to really dive in to the magic of circle, I realized that I was already learning space holding back when I was 16 years old. So, my loves, enjoy moving through space holding. Notice how you create your magical container. Thanks for listening to the Sacred Business Podcast with me, Sora Suryano. If you love the show and desire to know more, check out sorasuryano.com. I would also so appreciate it if you would leave a love note, aka a review on iTunes. Now, remember, you have the power to create anything. You are able to bring forth beauty, abundance, and grace in your business and life every day while living a life that is wild, free, and calm. You are worthy, divine sister.